Hello, everybody. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to look at some online compilers for Java. Um, that's why I have all these tabs open. And we're going to see which one of these, if any of them, are going to be useful for this class. Now, your best bet is if you have a Windows computer, or if you have a Mac computer, or even if you have a Linux computer, what you'd like to do is it's just install Eclipse. Because if you have Eclipse, you can keep all your projects in one place on your own computer, and you can run them and you can see the results. But one thing that you can do in Eclipse that you're not going to be able to easily do in the online platforms is run, programs that have windows and stuff. So like if I open up this other project here and I run this, you see that this is a game, right? So we coded up Tetris last semester and you know, we can do that. But you'll have trouble doing that on an online platform because on a web page, they can't really open windows like this. So um, that's one of the reasons why you'd like to use Eclipse. But for these early labs, it's not an issue. So we can use the online platforms. So as a demonstration, we'll try lab two. And so this has already been due, so most of you have done it. But if you look here, we can see that there's a problem one, area of a circle. Um, and yeah, and then we have to code this all up for calculating the area of a circle. So, all right, let's do that. So, of course, the first application that we have here is JDoodle. And the reason that we're even doing this in the first place is because I've recommended JDoodle in the past, which I think it's not here, but if I look in lab one, um, I have a JDoodle video. And the problem with JDoodle is some students have been letting me know that actually they limit the amount of usage that you have available. So you may be able to do the labs in JDoodle, but you can't do like all the labs in JDoodle, maybe something like that. So that's kind of annoying, but there it is. So if you can use JDoodle, I guess we might as well do it. So let's code here. Pick a language framework. So click here, I'll type Java. We want regular Java. Project name, we can just leave it like this. So you have your IDE here, and we should be able to do our lab. So let's just go ahead and do our lab in JDoodle, and we should be able to just copy paste it into the others. So it doesn't really matter which one we start with here. So let's take a look at lab two. And so lab two says create two separate Java files. We'll do one at a time. It says add your name, date, and assignment. So we would like copy this, head over to here. We could take away their comment, put ours. Um, all right. And it says and set up your program to read user input. So we need import Java util scanner near the top. Um, put it here. Initialize the scanner in your main method, which would be down here. Now, one thing that you have to be careful about is the name of the classes. So for now, I'm just going to point out that this says public class, my class. And when we go to these other platforms, that may be different. And if you copy paste this entire thing into somewhere else, then your class is going to have a different name, and that's probably going to stop it from compiling. So for now, just note that it's called my class. All right. So that's just to get us started. And then it says the actual lab two problems. Problem one, area of a circle. So of course, you all should know the area of a circle. Area is pi r squared. And so we're going to ask the user to input the radius and read it as a double. So we know the way to do this is that we should tell the user what we're doing, what they are expected to do first. So we do like system.out. Print line, and we say something like enter the radius, colon space maybe. Probably want print, not print line. That's just preference. And then once we tell the user to enter the radius, then we would have the user type in the radius. So above here, I'll create a variable. I can call it radius, or I can just call it R. Um, and then we need to read that in. So if you've been doing the Zybooks or you've been doing the labs, you know that the way to read stuff in is going to be the name of your scanner, which in this case is SCNR dot, and then you say next double to read a double. It would be next int to read an int. It would be next char to read a character, um, you know, and so on. So, oops, can't save that. Um, so what am I doing here? Actually, let me just 1 second. We will be one. All right, we're back. Okay, so this should read the radius. If I were to execute this now, then over here is where we'd see the output. It says enter the radius. It's waiting for me to type it in. I could say like 6.93. I'm saying letters and then not actually typing what I say. Um, that's all that happens is I type in a number. Okay. So what happens after we enter the radius? We come back over here and it says we should calculate the area using the formula pi r squared. And so in order to do that, we need to make sure we have a variable for the area, which I'm defining all my variables up here. And then after we've gotten the radius from the user, we can calculate the area of a circle using pi r squared. But you have to remember how to get pi. It's not the pi symbol. You have to type math, capital M, dot pi. And that's how you get pi in Java. So math.pi times the radius squared, which is r. So I can just do r times r. You don't really have to leave those spaces. Um, you can if it makes it easier to read. So there we go. The area is now being calculated as pi times r squared. What do we need to do? We need to print it out. Now, I don't actually require you to output um, the exact format that it says here. So we don't really need to say for a circle with radius 3, if they just typed in the 3 right on the line before that, they know they typed in the 3, but we do need to print out the area. So we would say system.out.println, and we could say something like the area of the circle is, leave a space, and then after the quotes, we can do plus area like that. And that should be it for our code. We can delete some of these blank lines and run it again. What? Sorry, I typed the pi wrong. So it's not math.pi lowercase pi, it's math.pi uppercase pi. Try it again. All right, enter the radius. So you can put whatever you want. I say 7, and it says the area of the circle is this. Now, it shows a lot of decimal points there. If you wanted to output to a specific number of decimal places, then you would have to change this. Instead of using println, you'd have to use printf. That's not really the point of the exercise today. So anyway, this code is now done, right? Um, Now, if I wanted to turn this in, let's just get rid of that. If I want to turn this in, then I would need to download this file, right? And so let's remember how to do this. So is it this? No. Of course, that's uploading files. That's no good. Where's the output? There it is. So this runs, and then if I want to download this, like maybe the 3 dots? Nope. Maybe over here? No. Uh, how do you download it? New project, my projects, save? No, that's save the project. Open from local file. There we go. Save to local file. So you'd look for the save to local file. I'd click this. It says, do you want to allow downloads? That's because I'm on a Mac. It probably doesn't do that if you have a different web browser. Allow, and there we go. I've got my file down there, just like that. So fantastic. Now, what does that look like in another platform? So this was jdoodle.com, but here's another one. This one, actually, that's the search forum. Here's one, onlinejava.com. So that's online-java.com. And when I come here, this is just what starts up when you get here. And so, sure. You'll notice on this one that it says public class main. So that's important because if I were to, for example, write this code somewhere else, or I try to copy paste it, like if I take all this, and I come over here and I paste this here, this is not going to compile. And so if I try to run it, we'll see that this is going to fail. And it says my class is public, blah, 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 blah. So that's no good. So if I undo this, this is where we started. If you're copy pasting into these online platforms, you want to be careful not to change the name of the class or how they declare this up here. So, um, the stuff that I have here above the public class, my class, you'd put that up here just the same, but you don't want to delete this public class main. If it's called main, it needs to stay with that name. And then you could take the inside here, or, we could write it from scratch, but we're lazy. And I could paste that in there. And so let's just pretend that we did the assignment over here. So if we run it, it should be the same basic idea as the other one. So it says enter the radius. We can put in a radius. I could say 4. And it says the area of the circle is 50 point, blah, blah, blah. So you'd be able to use this online Java. Now, you'd need to get this file. So how do we get it? Right-clicking doesn't work, but I believe somewhere there is a way to do it. Is it this? No, that's to share it. What's in there? Nothing. I thought I saw how to do it. Click there. So on onlinejava.com, this little caret here, come down here, and I believe the download output will download probably this over here, but I think the save will actually allow me to save the current file and it will download it. So that's how you would do that in onlinejava.com. Okay, so you could use JDoodle. You could use onlinejava.com. What about this one? Codiva.io. Never used it before, never seen it before, but it was recommended. Let's try it. Start coding now. Try without login. Let's try without login. All right, this seems fine. Notice that actually the class here is hello Godiva. So again, you'd have to be careful not to change that. So the stuff that you would type up here would be, similar. Like you could put this up there. Be careful not to change the name of the class. And then down here in the main method, we can put our code. Again, we can just pretend that we just did this from scratch. Put all our code right there. And, we did that. When we're done, we can run it, see what happens. Enter the radius. Why is that off? Well, it's almost off the screen. Oh, can we type? Can we type down here? Oh, I can't. Why not? I'm going to try it again. I'm going to close that and do it again. So we can't type down here, huh? Do I type here? Oh, okay. Oh, I couldn't see the corner because it was covered up by a Zoom logo thing. Okay, so we can run it here into the radius, and you don't type it here, you click down here, and then I can type in something like radius of 7, hit enter, and that works. So then we'd have to figure out how to save this in order to make this useful. So can we right click here? No, that doesn't work. Can we click save? Is that actually going to save it? I don't want to save the project. I want to save this one file to my local computer. And that's what a lot of the online platforms are lacking, by the way. So when I go here, Like I have this file. Um, so if I go like this and I go download linked file, I don't think that's going to work, but I'll try it. Yeah, that's an HTML page, so that did not work. And we saw that there's nothing that you can do here. Um, files. Oh, that's this. Yeah. So that's a weakness of this one, right? Like you'd be able to do your programming here, but you wouldn't be able to download this file, which is a pain, right? Like, could you copy paste this into a file locally, like open up a text editor? Sure, but that's not great. Not a great way to do it. I can try to sign in and see if that makes things better. Um, I'll just try to log in with my pre-existing Gmail account here. Sure, give them whatever they want. Yikes. Blah. Main dot Java create. Okay. It's my, oh, well, I called it main, so now I have to call it main here. This runs, I'm sure, just like it did before. Can we download this file now? I don't think so. So we're still in the same boat. So I would not recommend this platform because I don't see how to easily just like download this file. So no good. Don't like this one. There may be a way to do it, but I don't see it. So they have a share link, huh? All right. So no good. Next one, onecompiler.com. So this one I've seen recommended quite a bit. Again, I haven't really used it. So like all the others, so this is just if you go to onecompiler.com like this, it looks like this. And then you would say that you want to do a Java application. So you look at the all the programming languages that they have. You can start typing Java, probably make your life easier, and then select Java. There's a lot of other stuff here, but we'll just do Java. And that's how you get a blank Java application. Now, like before, we should be able to get our code over here. So we'll just copy the stuff at the top. Oh, they have Java util star. They already did that for us. But I have Java util scanner, delete what's inside here. And we want our program. So let's copy our program. Let's put it in there. And of course, this should run. So we'll run it, enter the radius, put a number, hit enter. Of course, it works just fine. Um, Now we want to download this file. So let's see if we can do that. So can I right click here? That allows me to delete it, doesn't allow me to download it. If I click this file icon, I can expand this. I can see the file. Can I download it? No, that's also not there. New file, new folder. So how do we do it? Three dots, download. Perfect. So we'll try download and look at that. We got the main Java right there. So um, one compiler would work. So what works? So far, JDoodle works, onlinejava.com works, and onecompiler.com works. One more, onlinegdb.com. So let's say that we just go to onlinegdb.com first. And when you do that, you have to be careful because, well, there's a lot of ads here. Don't like that really. Um, Close ad. This is not Java. So when I just came here to onlinegdb.com, it started me out with a C program here, is what we've got. So we would have to switch to Java. So let's figure out how to do that. IDE. No, that's there. New, upload, run, Debug, stop, share, save, beautify, ask AI. Uh, my projects. I'm gonna try my projects. Maybe I can just make a. No, that doesn't work. Okay. I'm sure there's a way to make a Java application, but I'm too lazy to find it. So we're just remember the link here, online Java compiler. Um, we'll just assume that we did that. All right, so this is for Java. I guess we'll navigate directly to here if we need to use this one. Like before, we'll take our stuff that's above the class and put it up here. We'll overwrite their comment. Okay, got my name on there. Then they also called their class main, which a lot of these have done. And then, in here in our main method, that's where our code goes. Let's grab our code once again, paste it in there. I wonder what the beautified does. I just remember that I saw that. So let's say that I screw this all up, all the indenting, and I make it all ugly. What's beautify do? Let's click it. Ah, it indents everything nicely. Okay, cool. So I like the beautify button. Let's try to run this. So there's a run button up here. Click it. Enter the radius, 7. There we go. Works perfect. Can we download this file? There's a download button. Download current file. Fantastic. Okay. So that worked. That worked well. So that also worked. So online GDB works. Gotta get that entire URL there. One more. This one was called programs, and then it also offers multiple programming languages, and so this is the Java one. Don't like that $9 a month up there. Um, what's that for? For a course? Don't want a course. All right, let's just see what we can get out of it for free. So let's copy the top again. Come over here. Like before, we can delete what's up there, paste it. They also called their class main. And then I can go get my code from in there. And I could paste it in here. Let's run it. Enter the radius, put in a number, get the result. This looks like one of the others, doesn't it? I don't know. Anyway, it ran. So that's good. So we would be able to do our program here. Can we download this file? Let's find out. So right click there is not going to do me any good. Over here, let's investigate all the icons. This is to say Java. These are other programming languages, I think. Python, R, SQL, HTML. All right, so, oops. Oh, that just opened a new tab. Okay, so this is our program. How do we get our file? What's this do? That's the size. Dark mode? Sure. Share? That generates a link. That's not what I want. Run runs it. So how do I get this file? How do I get the file? I don't see how to get the file. So this is another one where you'd be able to do your program, but you wouldn't be able to download it. So the point of being able to download those files is that if I go over to Lab 2 and I want to submit it, if I view this as a student here, right, that you drag files over here. And so if I have any of the previous ones I've done, I can drag the Java file over and, there it is. So I can turn in my programs that way. So if I can't download it, my life is harder. So I would not recommend this one because you can't download the file again. So that leaves us with several though. We had JDoodle, online Java, one compiler, and online GDB, and they all seem to work okay. So if you are running into limits with one of them, then you can try one of the others. And so that's what I would recommend that you do if you're stuck on like a Chromebook or something where you can't install software. Again, if you have access to a Mac or a PC, then I would strongly recommend that you install Eclipse, um, where you can compile things on your own computer. And also, you can run things like applications that open Windows and things like that. All right. So that's going to be it for this video. Hope this was helpful to some of you in some way.